Welcome back to the Drew and Dragons YouTube channel where we conquer the art of game mastering one video at a time. This will be a really quick one. What I figured I would do is, it might be long actually, but I'm going to run down the list of all of my currently active modules in Foundry VTT. This is version 11. I have not updated my game system. And one thing that I would say that you would take from this is, again, if you are new to Foundry, if you're trying to use this, my videos as a place marker for Foundry knowledge, something that I would say is please just be very careful when you update. Update sparingly, especially core things, because if you think about if we update from let's just say 11 to 12, all of those module makers have to be updating to 12. I'm sure that some of you know this, but again, just to so when you update like a game system, everything, MIDI Q, any automation systems, a lot of SRDs, a lot of those things are going to be moot at that point. So I really encourage you to be very careful when you do updates. So I'm on version 11, build 315, active modules. I have 132. So let's go ahead and get deep into it, as we'll talk about all these. So I have 3D portraits. This is a simple module that comes from the Ripper. About time, must have, active auras, helpful for doing any sort of aura based on your token. Active token effects, another like must have. Adventure music, that one I can probably turn off. Alternative token visibility, that's like an option. It helps with different vision types. Always HP is really helpful. That's this one, I believe, this guy. And so this pops up and you click on a token, and then you press enter. It'll lose that health, but you can also redo it there. Let's put it away for now because it can be a distraction. Always HP. Argon Combat HUD, that's pretty good. It is Argon Combat HUD is another Ripper module, which comes to us. It looks like this. This is Argon Combat HUD. If you don't know about it, you don't know about it. You should know about it though. Okay, Argon Combat HUD. Automated animations. Automated animations is awesome. It links with JB2A, which is a another module that I'm sure we'll get to that has active token effects. So like if I swing a sword and it actually swings a sword, oh, I actually threw a spear. Oh, it actually throws a spear. Automated animations is a part of that suite to kind of make that all happen. Automated evocations, companion manager is like, oh, I want to summon a warlock, Pact of the Fiends, fiend, or you know what I'm saying. So that lets you with your summons, whether that's like spiritual weapon or other things. Bailey Wiki nuts and bolts. You'll see this name a couple different times. Bailey Wiki is another YouTuber. He has a Patreon. He creates a lot of things for Dungeon Draft, which is one of the map making softwares that I like. But really more importantly, I use him now for Foundry stuff. He has a lot of modules, and I can make a video about that. But he has so many. I would encourage you to go look him up. Bailey Wiki. I'll probably in the description have a link to his YouTube channel, and from there, hopefully you find his Patreon. I'm a patron of his. Huge supporter of him. Big Bailey Wiki fan. Definitely encourage any DM that's looking for fast on the fly stuff. And again, I'm helping from a practical user standpoint where I'm a game master. I'm helping you all as from that perspective. These guys truly have an in-depth understanding of Foundry, as well as creating compendiums, and really. My ignorance is showing, I suppose, but the reality is I trust them to help me with a lot of those things, and so I couldn't speak highlier of them. Better roll tables is just roll table stuff. Better roofs, that's a Ripper thing that's needed for multi-level maps that are top-down. Break time is great. You just go, and it's a break time. Great. If you're a game master, a quick GM tip, if you're a game master that doesn't take at least one break in the middle of your session, I feel like you're doing something wrong. That's just my hot take. You should definitely be giving your, over the course of like a 3 to 4 hour session, there should be at least one break. 1.5 hours in, you should be able to take a break. If not, every hour, every 1:15. It really, like, go with the flow, but break time, great opportunity to do that. Build a bonus is, again, I would look to some Bailey Wikis. It's about automation, and we can talk about that. Kiora's maps, Kiora's stuff. Carousel Combat Tracker, that one is another Ripper, which is a really cool module that creates a banner at the top of the screen. If I don't kind of rush through these, this video is going to be very long. We are at build a bonus, carousel, chat portrait. That's where we come over here and we go to our roles, or if they're like out of character, if they're saying something you can see the portrait of the token. So let's go ahead and do curious talking about chat portrait. Chris's pre-mades, that's an automation suite. It has a bunch of different like 5e and other it's like system dependent stuff. Like they have a bunch of pre-made stuff for you, hence the name. Combat booster, I believe that's the Ripper. Yeah, and it's just stuff that helps you with, like, you know, it's a turn marker or an XYZ. Definitely would recommend it. A lot of those are by choice, and if, again, let me know in the comment section. Please leave a like, leave a subscribe. Let me know which ones you'd like me to talk about more, and I'm sure I can make those videos. So, combat booster, yep, compendium folders, that's pretty good, where you can, like, basically look at compendiums from different areas, I believe. Custom character sheet sections is good. So when you go into characters, you can like, let's go to this. There's like a custom section. You can put this right here, and it will separate it differently. So when you have features, you can do classes. There's passive abilities. Like he could put this, and it could be Theros, right? Like if I went in and I did edit, and I go to custom section, I go Theros. Now what he'll have is, oh no, doesn't do it. Doesn't work. Well, that's fine. It's borked. I don't care. So that was custom sections. We see that right here in that yellow. Compatibility risk. Okay. Damage log, that creates a section over here that has damage cards for everything, which is nice because then I can undo them and stuff like that. So I like it. Damage log. D&D 5e animations, that's more animator stuff. D&D importer, that one deserves its own video, and I'm sure that there's plenty of videos that you can find. D&D DDB importer takes all of the things that you would own on D&D Beyond, including just simple character sheets. You click on it. Most of these were ported using D&D Beyond. We have this button right here, all of this, boop, boop, and it will import it from the D&D Beyond with all of those things, and with all of the automation that we have set up. I can go from concept in my mind to D&D Beyond to here within, you know, a couple minutes, frankly, and be able to have a fully functioning, it'll be automated, and it works pretty well. There are some classes and some features that I'm sure that are going to be harder than others, but it's pretty good, and I definitely recommend it. Defred's convenient effects. This is, if that isn't working, Defred's convenient effects is basically like, we drop this, we go to the token, it's this little hand thing right here, and I click on a token, boop, and I click blinded, and it gives it those effects. So like their token won't see, they'll have like enemies will have advantage on attacks from it. So that's really good. Defred's wrappables, you can drop items and create chests. Players love it. I love it as a player. I'm doing more of it as a DM, definitely, or GM. Recommend doing it. Dice So Nice, got to do it, basically, in my opinion. Dice So Nice is the 3D animated dice that you're about to see on the screen. Those little guys, customize. Each player gets to customize them. They fucking love that shit. Dice tray, this is really good. You actually just saw me use it. This thing, this is a dice tray, and it just rolls it right there for me. Just love it. Drag ruler is if you take a token and you drag it, you'll see 75 miles there. That's because it's a mile. So that's drag ruler. Dynamic effects using active effects. This is, again, that's part of the automation, so the mechanics automation. Dynamic soundscapes, that's a ripper. I haven't really used it that much. I need to go learn about it more. I want to. Sound is one of those things where it's kind of hard as a game master on Foundry, just because you're having a lot of people with a lot of different inputs, a lot of different outputs, a lot of different settings. And so I've found that some players, like, it's like crippling for me to put on music. I found that some companies like it. So I find it to be hard to find what the right balance is. Pardon me. So yeah, dynamic soundscapes, effect macro, macro effects. Let me see what's by Zell. I'm not sure. I believe it's like basically it's putting effects onto macros or macros onto effects. It's typically like there's item macro, and it's just putting macros, a macro section inside of an item, so that on use this macro like goes off. Again, this is all stuff that automation. I would look to. There's a really good Bailey Wikis video that, again, if you join my Patreon, or I'm sure you can find his video, but he talks about the full automation suite. On my Patreon, you can join my Discord server where I have like like any of those links and to YouTube videos and what I'm looking, and you can get access to me. So definitely check it out. But Bailiwiki has a full suite of modules that you would need for V11. Again, I'm just showing you what I have so that you can take that as for what it is. Epic Rolls 5e, that is another Ripper one where you're able to have a pretty cinematic event of a roll. It's definitely good. I like it. Epic Roll. Forn's Quest Log. That's a quest log that you can put on your players. It's good. FX Master, must have. It deals with a lot of effects, including weather effects and stuff like that. Just like snap up or something. FX Master. Game It's Pre-Made. That's another automation suite. Pre-made. Game audio, game audio, game audio, game audio. You can imagine. Gather is another item sort of thing. Health estimate is if we hover over, we see injured. That is the health estimate. It's telling you enemies. It's like, oh, what are everybody looking like? Well, you can hover over the token and there's a healthy, mostly injured. So instead of like the players asking you which one of these looks bad, an A, B, C, D, or whatever, they can like hover over the suite. The amount of non-questions that I believe that I don't get, the amount of times that I'm not being asked that question because of health estimate cannot be understated. Definitely something that I would recommend. Health monitor. No, help. One second. Let's go. 1 second. Health monitor. What was the other one? Always health? I don't know. That might be the. Let's look it up. Let's look it up real quick. We can look. We'll go to the Git. Nope. Ooh. Processors. Okay, this doesn't look like the one I thought, which is always health. Okay, so maybe not something that I need. Let's go back down to health monitor. We're on the agents. We're going to keep on going. 11 minutes in. Let's see if we can get this in around 20 minutes and see how we're doing. Health estimate. We did that. Health monitor. We did that. Hover distance. We touched about that. Elandril's token quick tips. That's where I can click on you. Click on like a non-player character. I can click on them and I can above their head if they weren't an NPC. So we'll go ahead and grab like one of the serpents. Not him. So if I click on him, you see here, that is Elandril's token quick actions. Travel pace is a button that we can do over here that I think on journal. Measurement token. No, right here. Travel pace. We can put in and it'll tell us travel pace stuff. Which I like. I use it a lot. If you're doing a lot of hex crawls, that's helpful to understand how many hexes they're gonna be able to go in a day and stuff like that. Travel base, item macro, talked about that. Item piles, it's the same thing. You can like drop an item here and you can create chests. That's really good. Animated spell effects, those are animations. JB2A, those are animations. So those are all artistic, like, you know, animations, spell animations, stuff like that. Levels, that's from the Ripper. That helps you do multi-level top-down maps. Levels, automated cover. That helps you with, you know, calculating covers with walls. Volumetric templates, that helps with helping with all of your spells and stuff. Color libraries or like other things use them. Mage Hand, that is a Kickstarter that I'm a part of. Material Deck lets me use my Steam Deck or Stream Deck. Oh my! It lets me use my Stream Deck to do things within Foundry VTT. That probably deserves its own video. It has its own stuff. It's definitely more intensive to get up and running. I've used it. Not as much as of recently, if I'm being honest, but I do think it's pretty cool. Moving on, we have MCDM stuff, you see. That's a third-party like supplement stuff that I like. Media Optimizer, that's another Ripper thing that I haven't really used that much. Michael Gelfi is audio. MIDI, Item Showcase, MIDI QOL, that's all automation stuff. Minimal UI, that's like you see how this is smaller. You see how I have smaller stuff up here, although I don't think that the drop-down, I think the drop-down comes later. Media Optimizer, Michael Gelfi, MIDI, Minimal UI, we just talked about. Mob Attack, that helps me if I have like a crap ton of, man, it's really snapping up to the top lot. Mob Attack. I can like click on it, I think it's down here. Is this Mob Attack? Yeah, and so it'll let me like do five different people. It's a little scary, I will say. I don't typically do it on PCs. I'd rather like boom, 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 and kind of like roll it through because that automation's better. I mean, you can see all the hits. So if you're like really, I'm pretty true to the I'm pretty true. I'm true to the dice. My point being is that if you're afraid of like, oh my god, my guy's dead, what just happened, and you're not going to be able to tell them what happened, which there are examples of that, then I wouldn't recommend using that because the math isn't shown last I saw. I know maybe there's an update or maybe there's a setting that I could go check. Maybe that's something you want me to look into. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and comment what you'd like me to dive into more so I can know for next week. Mob attack rule, we got that. Monk's active tile triggers, that's great. You have a tile, whether it's visible or invisible, somebody walks over it, and actions that you can, the number of actions is countless. Some of the things that you can do with a combination of some of the modules that we're going to talk about is insane, especially when you talk about different visual representations of your table, whereas, we can do 3D at my table. We can do isometric. It's not as perfect. There is a V11 grapefruit or grape juice isometric module, but there's also examples on the Epic isometric Discord server where in version 12, they're making maps on the fly with like houses and a bunch with walls and sounds and lights and all things with token attacher, and they're able to drop it onto the scene on V12 pretty easily. So I'm going to learn more about that and hopefully bringing that back to the channel as well. So we're on Monks. Monks is really good. So you see Monks Enhanced Journal, better for the journal updates, differences in that. Monks Little Details helps with a bunch of different things. Monks Token Bar is really good. Scene Navigation gives you this thing up here, I believe, which is great. I like it a lot. But Monks Token Bar is this thing, and it's awesome. Moulinet is something that if you really are like getting into, we'll see how much this shows you. I might. Okay, we're linked. So like I can go to, no, that's prefab. So if I go to scenes here, you see 11,693. So let's go Hag. I don't know. Let's see what Hag pulls up. So and then we go, this is a bunch of different artists that I'm patron to, that I have access to these items via cloud service through Moulinet. So, let me know if you want me to make a video about Moulinet, but Moulinet is awesome, and you can see there's a lot of it. Multi-face tiles, you can have a tile, and you can have different faces on it. So it's helpful in some ways. Ownership view is in this side over here on the very far right. You can see who owns a token or item. Party hub, that's up here. You go to party overview. This is the party hub. No, that's the party overview. Oh, party hub. I think this is the party hub. You see it. You see it right here. It's a Ripper thing. It's kind of like what you see in Baldur's Gate 3, I believe. So we'll go party hub, party overview. This is party overview. Pings is different pings like that. Polyglot, that is us being able to, you see here, I'm able to be in common, but I can like speak Gith or whatever. And so if I speak that, you also see here who speaks those things, which is cool. I'll write it here and it'll produce it to the players in gibberish, different sorts of gibberish, or it'll speak it to them like this is in Orcish, and it'll speak to them in English or their chosen language, mostly English for me. And it's really cool. Adds a little depth to it. No work on our end, right? We don't have to like make up gibberish. We can like look at it. It's really cool. I like Polyglot. Pop out, really important for a lot of your users, especially if they're using two screens. It lets you pop out anything, including their character sheet or whatever. I like it. Pop out resizer comes along with that. Portal, I believe this is like, kind of an underlying thing. The Ripper, the Ripper one. I'll have to go look at it. Progress tracker, it's a bar. I haven't actually done a good job of understanding a lot of the Ripper's newest stuff, but I support him via patronage, and I really do think that he works really hard, and him and that whole Bailey Wiki, the Ripper, there's a couple others that I could probably name off, but they're really pushing forward Foundry, in my opinion, and really making it a big part of what it is. I'm very happy with the state that Foundry VTT is in, and I just think that they're a huge part of it. So Progress Rocker Quick Draw is like just a drawing thing that you have over here. It's probably one of these. Then we have Quick Encounters. That one deserves its own video. You can basically set up X tokens, Y read aloud. You know, you can make a map XYZ, and it can all be set up within quick encounters. Quick insert widget, that's a Ripper one. And again, I think that it can't be understated. I can go, let's look up a Storm Dragon. And you can see where it is, and I can just pull it from there, download it to my world, and it makes it very easy to be able to do that. Quick scale is being able to, you use the two of these buttons over here next to your enter key to make things smaller or bigger. Writable is a token-to-token attacher, basically, that lets people mount things. Routing glib, I'm not sure. RPG damage numbers is what it sounds like, where when I do damage to a token, it'll like kind of float off. That's another Ripper. Scene transition is you're able to make it so that when you're moving from one scene to another, you can have like some sort of image and text between the two. Sequencer is a lot of for the automation, for the animations, you know, the automation of the animations. Sequencer needs that. Settings extender, that's something that I believe that we need on, let's look. I don't know. I have it. Sometimes you don't know, right? Sometimes you, hopefully that's relatable to some people, but I have it on, and I'm not going to turn it off. I'll tell you that right now. Settings extender. Simple calendar is really helpful. You can use it to, you know, have a lot of your own, like this is the Theros calendar, right? It's not the Greek calendar or anything like that. Where are we at? Smart time. Thank you again for taking this time. If you're still with us, I'm hoping that this is helpful. You can, simple calendar, small time, that's a required one. Socket lib, have it. Tab chat log, you see that in, you have an in-character rules, out-of-character damage log. I don't love it, but what it does do is it changes it between scenes, which is really helpful. Like being able to see where your damage rules are from one scene to another, and it not just be, here's all the rules with on your virtual tabletop. That's what I like about it. I feel like the in-character, out-of-character might be unnecessary. Or my parties haven't utilized it, right? Tab chat log, tabletop RPG, just music. Tagger, that's you can give items tags. I feel like it's a little antiquated, frankly. I feel like a lot of other developers aren't using Tagger as much anymore. But you know, please comment below. Let me know if I'm dead wrong. I have it on because I know that I used it a lot earlier. Talent character sheet, that's for MCDM stuff. Talent psionics, that's MCDM. Taskbar, that's this little guy down here at the bottom. You can see that it goes up and down. If I go like that, it goes up and down. But this thing is invaluable. The Ripper, again, taskbar is part of some of the things, where including this like the deep dive widget, or excuse me, the search widget. It's incredible, really powerful stuff right there. Especially again, part of the things that I really would preach is it's not about having the answers. It's about being able to have the answers quickly to your hands. Like, you know. So having something like that, and they're like, well, we want to do this and we want to do that. Like I can type in cultist or commoner, or I can, like if I have an NPC already saved up, I just type their name and I can pull them onto the scene. It's nice. I definitely would highly recommend it. Taskbar template, macro, I think those are macros. The Forge, again, I host on the Forge, and that lets us access the other stuff. The Ripper's module hub, that lets us know if there's a bunch of out-of-date Ripper modules. Tidy 5e sheets, almost a mandatory one now. Tidy 5e is that sheet is much better than the basic 5e sheet. I like the aesthetic of the 5e sheet, but Tidy 5e, gotta do it. Tidy UI, another UI user interface setting. Tile scroll, that's for things like that let you moving scenes. The Bailey Wiki has some cool scenes that are like travel scenes that I use. Tile sort, that lets you, especially for isometric or I also think it's really powerful in 3D, I bet. But really, isometric I've used the most is tile sort. You can layer different tiles. It's also helpful in just top down too. Times up is another automation stuff. It's good. Token action HUD, you can, if you see here, I click the token. This is the token action HUD. It has a drop down or a drop up, depending on your settings, of all of the different things that you can do. So that's cool. Token action HUD core, the 5e. Token attacher, that's the one I was talking to you about. Basically, you can take a token. It could be an invisible token, even if you wanted to. You could put it on the map. Nothing else. I could put walls. I could put an image of a house. I could put a torch light. I could put, even I guess I could put, you know, another token. I don't think actually, maybe I can't, you know, no, let's just do everything else besides that. I could do a sound and a sound over here, and I could do walls that make it so that you know, all of that, and then I grab it all together and I push it onto that token, and now I have a prefab that is of that thing, and I pull it back on. So one of the most powerful and probably underutilized up from by me and by probably many a DM, besides Bailey Wiki, and and some people on the Epic Isometric. Again, they're doing some really cool stuff right now with token attacher. It's really cool. Token attacher, token auras. You can create an aura around your token. Token factions lets you know who's who. You see that these guys have a green around them right now. It's really helpful for, like, here, I'll pull you over to my other scene. It's really helpful for scenes like this where you have like I like a lot of tokens and we have a lot of things going on. The map is a little hectic, so you can definitely see who's who and what's what there. Let's go to token aura, token faction, token flip. You can flip tokens, make a different token. Tokenizer is something like on their character sheets. You can create like a POG token out of any NPC sheet and PC sheet, I believe. So it's nice. It's a little clanky sometimes, but it's good. Token magic effects, that's another automation for animations on your token. Definitely need token magic effects because it's for animations. Torch gives them the ability to, if they have a torch in their inventory, they can use it and it produces light. Vision 5e, that's just vision effects. Visual active effects, another automation thing, I believe. Walled templates, wall height, and warp gate. Warp gate is template, or is automation stuff for animations. Wall height, like it denotes it, you can give walls height. And then walled templates is a ripper, Kawak. I'm not sure what I have that for. Well, wow, we are 25 minutes. Love it. 26 minutes. Thank you so much for taking the time. Please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and comment below. Let me know what of these you'd like me to dive into. I really am excited to go to version 12. I'm really happy with where we're at with version 11, honestly, but there's a lot of cool stuff that's coming with V12. But by the time that they're kind of kicking around V13 is probably when I'll jump over to V12. I'll have all my goodies. I'll have all these goodies. There's nothing that I see there yet that really makes me want to have to burn the kingdom. And unfortunately, most of the times that I've got transitioned, it is an overhaul. There's a lot of chafe that you have to cut, or you have to figure things out. So hopefully this is a good video for you. Again, let me know in the comments below what you'd like me to focus on the next one, and I'll catch you all later.